Welcome back, guys. Episode 2 of the Flat Track Nationals bike build. Finally got the suspension back from Franco. I think Franco's done a beautiful job setting this up. So let's get into it and we'll fit it in the bike. Okay, we'll get started with this. I'm just going to insert the forks probably just to the ring on top of these forks here. I don't have the exact specs for them yet, but I'm just going to insert them in here. Straighten that up now. It's a bit difficult. And don't forget to line up the sticker. Stick that there. And what I'll do, I'll just nip one of these bolts up here, just lightly, so that way the fork doesn't fall out. We'll get the next one. Same again. Hopefully it goes in a bit nicer. And then it does. Oh. One more thing I like to check before we torque all the bolts down is that the axle goes in nicely into both fork legs. So just get that in there, and that glides in and out of that one. Perfect, so I know we're lined up. So I've got the torque wrench here, and I reckon it's very critical to make sure these bolts on the triple clamps are torqued correctly. Pretty sure on the shop manual on these it's 22 newton meters and it's 20 on the bottom, but I think it's a little bit too much on these, so I'm just going to go a little bit lower than that, torque proper. Look at this one. Alright, then we'll drop it down a little bit. And another thing I find is critical is that when you torque the bolts up, don't just keep going, like torque that one, that one, then that one, then that one, because otherwise you'll actually keep squishing this down more and more and more. You can actually squish this fork leg out and around, and that way your forks won't travel in the fork leg properly. So I just do the 1, 2, and then a 3. So that's all done. The forks are in. Just gonna make sure I put the fork guards back on and put the wheel in. And then we'll do the shock now because the bike's literally about to fall off this stand. So put the shock in now, that way it will fall off. Alright, got the shock here ready to go in. Gonna have to try and do a balancing act to get the shock in because it is very teeter-tottery. So hopefully the shock should, before it goes from there, slip in. One, slip 2. Yeah, there you go. Oh. Oh. I'm not going to have enough hands to do this. Oh, well, that's in at least a little bit. That way I can get the rest of this stuff in. That's more low shock bolt.
is rather painful to do.
Yeah, I need you to help me. Just either. Right. Yeah. Right, so that's in, and it was as painful. It's very painful to do it by yourself on a shitty box stand like this. So I need to go back through and torque up the bolts. These on last time were 52 Newton meters. Okay, shocks in is painful as that was to watch. It's actually very difficult to do it by yourself without front wheel on it, balancing on that shitty box stand that we got here. But nonetheless, we got it in. So I put the front wheel in, well, 4 guards on, the front wheel in, then we did the back, and I put the plastics on, and then we should be ready to go for testing. Okay, got the axle now ready to go in, and the same again. Just a nice little bit of grease on there. Nothing too ridiculous that's going to make a mess.
I don't want to video you pick a doll.
Just a nice light bit of grease. Over the rear. Get the front wheel. I don't have the 19-inch front wheel for it yet. It's at work. I'm currently putting a new rim onto it. And same again. Beautiful. Sit that in there. Torque these pinch bolts down for now. just tighten that up because I'm going to probably pull the front wheel out of it in the next couple of days to put the proper front wheel back into what we've got. Brake caliper on now. Torque these up. Make sure the brakes don't fall off when she's racing. Right. Gonna get the rear wheel. Okay. Got the rear wheel here. Just pull the axle out. There's my road. Put that bit of white. Same again. Just a light smear of grease. And now they're ready to put the wheel in. Let's get the wheel. Let's sit that down there for a second. Sit that in there. Now that's in. Obviously the chain is ridiculously loose. That sprocket's a lot smaller of a sprocket to the standard sprockets. I need to shorten the chain, but I don't have any of the tools with me here at the moment, so I'm gonna have to quickly do it at work tomorrow before we go riding. And also probably further down the track and put new sprockets on there, brand new chains, that way we're running fresh for a new one. Sometimes the OEM chains, they stretch really easily and they're just a bit average, so it's just easy just to replace them straight off the bat. I also forgot my spanner to torque the wheel and arm up, so I'm going to have to do that at work tomorrow again. Before we put this bike back together, I want to give a massive shout out to Doc Trucks. He's sponsoring Laurie this year, and as you can imagine, it's not an easy feat getting these bikes set up, especially the suspension, the wheels, other bits and pieces you may need. He's been a massive help. He's helped us out a lot, so big shout out to Doc and the team. So if you're in the market for a truck, a trailer, lease of a truck, lease of a trailer, make sure you give him a call. He's a ripper bloke and he'll always give you a good deal. Alright, bike's all done. Hope you enjoyed part 2. Tune in for part 3 later, which I think will be testing. I'll just finalise the front wheel, finish off those few other little bits and pieces of work, give the bike a quick service at work tomorrow. Hopefully this weekend we're out first for a shakedown ride, and Laurie's going to go and see if she likes it. Thanks.